Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my most humble obeisance. Thank you for joining today for this session for online book reading. Prabhuji, yes, you gonna share. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your service. Kindly please, Prabhuji, share your screen so that our devotees will read the session. I already sent you the photo where we stopped yesterday, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, were we at chapter 2 yesterday? Or we were at chapter 3?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. ओके प्रभु जी आप प्लीज़
What is the phone?
या प्रभु जी आप मंगलाचरण कर लीजिए फिर हम अब शुरू करते हैं ठीक है आप ही पढ़ना शुरू कीजिए हरे कृष्णा
Okay,
प्रभु जी
Mataji,
हाँ
sure. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
जी प्रभु जी आप मंगलाचरण कर लीजिए फिर पढ़ाना शुरू
Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Wait, Mataji, I just forgot the Mangla Charan. Wait.
श्री गुरु श्रीयुत पदकमलम
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुतिल देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे नमा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हरे कृष्ण माता जी
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी यस प्रभु जी यू कैन स्टार्ट रीडिंग प्रभु जी
Okay, Mataji.
ओके प्रभु
So,
जी
Mataji, last time where we at this point, my devotees and my friend.
No, we just finish upon to on Krishna, one Krishna consciousness, become Krishna. Yes,
Okay,
we just finished. Yeah, you
okay,
have to
Mataji.
read
So,
the second paragraph about
okay,
what is
Mataji.
Krishna. Yes.
Okay. And what is Krishna consciousness? That is the process of cleansing the dust from the mirror of the mind through the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By chanting this mantra and by hearing the Bhagavad Gita, we can gradually attain to Krishna consciousness. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna is present within our heart. The individual soul and the super soul both are sitting in the tree of the body. The individual soul, Jiva, is eating the fruit of the tree, and the super soul, Paramatma, is witnessing. As the individual soul begins the process of devotional service and gradually begins to develop his Krishna consciousness, the super soul who is seated within begins to help him dust all the impurities from the mirror of the mind. Krishna is a friend to all saintly persons, and the attempt to become Krishna conscious is a saintly endeavor. Sar Sarvanam Kirtanam. By chanting and hearing, one can come to understand the signs of Krishna and thereby come to understand Krishna. And upon understanding Krishna, one can at the moment of death go immediately to his abode in the spiritual world. The spiritual world is thus described in Bhagavad Gita: Na tad bhashyate suryo, na sasanko, na pavaka, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. That supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Sound to come
This material world is always dark. Therefore, we require the sun, moon, and electricity. The Vedas enjoin us not to remain in this darkness, but to transfer ourselves to the world of illumination, the spiritual world. The word darkness has a twofold meaning. It doesn't means only without means it doesn't it not only means without light, but it means ignorance. The Supreme Lord has manifold energies. It is not that he comes to the material world to perform activities. It is stated in the Vedas that the Supreme Lord has nothing to do. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, नामे पारतस्ति कर्तव्यम त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानावाप्तम अवाप्यप्तम वर्ता एव च कर्मणि. O son of Partha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. We should therefore not think Krishna is required to descend upon this material world and engage in so many activities. No one is equal to or greater than Krishna, and he has all knowledge naturally. It is not that he has to undergo penance to acquire knowledge, or that he at any time has to receive knowledge or attain knowledge. At all times and in all conditions, he is full of knowledge. He may be speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, but at no time was he ever taught the Bhagavad Gita. One who can understand that this is Krishna's position does not have to return to the cycle of birth and death in this material world. Being under the influence of illusion, we spend our lifetimes
sound
trying to
come
make adjustment to this material atmosphere. But this is not the purpose of human life. Human life is meant for understanding the signs of Krishna. Mataji, is it enough or should I read more?
Prabhuji, if you want, then you can carry on.
Okay, Mataji. Our material needs are these: the problem of eating, of mating, of sleeping, of defending ourselves, and of acquiring sense gratification. These are common both to human beings, and to animals. The animals are busily engaged trying to solve these problems. And if we are also only engaged in solving them, how are we any different from the animals? The human beings, however, has a special qualification whereby he can develop transcendental Krishna consciousness. But if he does not avail himself of this, he is in the animal category. The defect of modern civilization is that it puts too much stress on solving these survival problems. As spiritual living beings, it is incumbent upon us to extricate ourselves from this entanglement of birth and death. We should therefore be very careful not to miss the spiritual opportunity of human life. Sri Krishna himself comes to deliver the Bhagavad Gita and to help us to become God conscious. Indeed, this is very material creation is given to us to utilize for this cultivation. But if after receiving this chance and this gift of human life, we do not utilize them to develop Krishna consciousness, we shall be missing this rare opportunity. The process for cultivation is very simple: Sravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. We have nothing to do other than listen, and by listening carefully, enlightenment is sure to come. Krishna will surely help, for he is seated within. We only have to make the effort and spare a little time. We will not need anyone to ask us whether we are making progress. We will know it automatically, just as a hungry man knows that he has been satisfied by a full meal. Actually, this process of Krishna consciousness or self realization is not very difficult. Krishna taught it to Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita, and if we understand the Bhagavad Gita just as Arjun did, we will have no problem in coming to the perfectional state. But if we try to interpret the Bhagavad Gita according to our own mundane academic mentality, we spoil it off. As stated before, this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is a process by which all contaminations due to material association are removed from the mirror of the mind. There is no need for external help in reviving our Krishna consciousness, for Krishna consciousness is dormant within the self. In fact, it is the very quality of the self. We have only to invoke it by the process. Krishna consciousness is an eternal fact. It is not a doctrine of self or a doctrine or set of belief imposed by some organization. It is within all living entities, whether they be humans or animals. When Lord Chaitanya was passing through the jungles of South India some 500 years ago, he chanted Hare Krishna, and all the animals, the tigers, the elephants, and deer, joined him in dancing to the holy names. Of course, this depends on the purity of the chanting. As we progress in chanting, purification is sure to come.
Haribol. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prabhuji. Yes.
thank you,
I want
Mataji.
to, if anyone want to add something or any have any question.
Yeah, Mataji. Here, Prabhupada is explaining us the importance of Sravanam and Kirtanam. He has repeated twice this word, Sravanam and Kirtanam,
Hmm.
in this chapter. So it's very important, Mataji, to hear and to do the kirtan.
जी जी
Means
जी
to distribute the Krishna Katha.
जी. Okay, so I want to add also something. Wow, amazing. So I also want to add something that once my Guru Maharaj said that Srila Prabhupada once asked by a devotee that, dear Srila Prabhupada, if I fall into Maya and I will not come and will you come to help me to this material world? So Srila Prabhupada, yes, I will go. I will come and help you, but don't try to ask your spiritual master to come in this material world again. So this is the only chance to go to our home. So don't miss this chance and try to put your consciousness into Krishna. And another thing is that mentioned that when Gauranga Mahaprabhu is chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra instead, actually when I am listening from Amarendra Prabhuji that he said that if some person, oh sorry, Amog Leela Prabhuji I think said this. So if a person see Gauranga Mahaprabhu, only by seeing from eyes, he will have bhakti for Radha Govind. If that person, if that person is saying to another person, he will get mercy of Radha Govind, and the person seeing another person is get again mercies. So this is very very rare condition in Brahma's day and night. Only once Gauranga Mahaprabhu is appeared in this world. So don't miss the chance and go back head to Godhead. It's our only motive. So yes, Hari Bol. So any
Haribol
have any
Mataji.
question?
No, Mataji.
ओके ओके शकुंतला माता जी आप रीड करना चाहेंगी माता जी?
Can you hold on to sure?
Yes माता जी, so please um, read the section.
Seeing Krishna is everywhere and always. In our practical life, Krishna instructs us how to involve Krishna consciousness. It is not that we are to stop executing our duty to duty or to cease from activity. Rather, activities have to be conducted in Krishna consciousness. Everyone has a vocation in life, but what consciousness does is enter upon it. Everyone is thinking, oh, I must have a vocation in order to must have a vocation in order to maintain the family. Society, the government, or the family have to be satisfied, and no one is free from such consciousness. One has to be in proper consciousness to execute any activity nicely. He whose consciousness is educated who's like a madman, can't execute any duty. We should execute our duty properly, but we should do it thinking to satisfy Krishna. It's not that we have to change the process of work, but we do have to understand for whom we are working. Whatever activity we have to do, we must execute. We must execute, but we should not be carried away by karma desire. The Sanskrit word karma is used to indicate lust, desire, and satisfaction. Sri Krishna instructs that we should not work for our satisfaction of karma or our own lust. The whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is based on this principle. Arjun wanted to satisfy his senses by refraining from fighting with his relatives, but Krishna spoke to him to convince him to execute his duty for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Materially, it may seem very pious that he is giving up his claim for a kingdom and refusing to kill his relatives. But Krishna didn't approve of this because the principle for Arjuna's decision was to satisfy his own senses. One's business or occupation need not be changed, as Arjun was not changed. But one does have to change his consciousness. In order to change his consciousness, however, knowledge is required. That knowledge is knowing I am part and parcel of Krishna, the superior energy of Krishna. That is real. That is real knowledge. Relative knowledge may teach us how to repair a machine, but real knowledge is knowing our position as being integral with Krishna. Being part of Him, our pleasure, which is partial, is dependent on the whole. For instance, my hand can take pleasure when it's attached to my body and serves it. It doesn't take a pleasure in serving another's body. Because we're part of Krishna, our pleasure is in serving Him. I cannot be happy serving you. Everyone is thinking, I can only be happy serving myself. But no one knows who the self is. That self is Krishna. Mataji, is it enough?
Okay, Mataji, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Anything?
Very good.
Anyone want
Very
to add
good.
or something? Mataji,
No,
due to
Mataji.
some problem, I can read. Okay, Mataji. Anene Mataji, it's okay, Mataji. Okay, you just see what other devotees will discuss, Mataji. Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. So I want to, or Mataji, I want to some add that. Yeah, Krishna says that karma. We are into our sense gratification. What is sense gratification is? The Sahasra Kamadeva is surrendered unto Krishna and mohit by Krishna, right? Sahasra Kamadeva. The Lakshmi, Mahavishnu, Brahma, Sahasra Devi Devta was attracted by Krishna. But we are the Baddha Jiva. We are not attracted by Krishna and we just simply choose the sense gratification which is temporary. So this is our condition. So you know, all the people like that one girl in the whole college, and we are the person. Oh, I don't like the person. I don't like the girl. So problem is not that she is not beautiful. That our mind is like a fool. So we are not attracted by Krishna, who is abdov or attracted by Sahasra Kamadeva. So we must not attract by our sense gratification, which is temporary, which is if it is not temporary, it is dukkha. So we should not enjoy just our own, but enjoy for Krishna, dance for Krishna, sing for Krishna. So yes, this is and everything upon we serve unto Krishna with study, with a dance, with song, everything. So, Yasaswini Mataji, Hare Krishna. You want to
Yeah,
read
Mataji.
Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I will
Prabhuji,
read.
is anything I said wrong or Mataji is anything I said wrong or something?
No,
No,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
No, Mataji. ममैवांसो जीवलोके जीवबुद्ध भूत सनातन मन शास्तनि शास्तानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि karasati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to the conditioned life, they are struggled very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. The jivas or living entities are now detached from the whole due to material contact. It is therefore necessary for us to strive to attach ourselves again to the latent Krishna consciousness that is within us. Artificially, we are trying to forget Krishna and live independently. But this is not possible. When we strive to live independent of Krishna, we come under the influence of the laws of material nature. If one thinks that he is independent of Krishna, he becomes independent on the illusionary energy of Krishna. Just as if one thinks that he is independent of government and its regulations, he becomes dependent on police force. Everyone is trying to become independent, and this is called Maya, illusion. Individually, communally, socially, nationally, and universally, it is not possible to become independent. When we come to realize that we are dependent, we will have attained knowledge. Today, so many people are striving for peace in the world, but they do not know how to implement that peace formula. The United Nations has been striving for peace for so many years, but still war is going on. यश्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तद् अहम् अर्जुन न तद् अस्ति विना यत्स्यान् मायाभूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moved or non-moving, that can be without me. Krishna is the proprietor of everything, the ultimate beneficiary and receiver of results of everything. We may consider ourselves to be the proprietors of fruits of our labor, but this is the misconception. We must come to understand that Krishna is the ultimate proprietor of fruits of all our works. Hundreds of people may be working in an office, but they understand that whatever profit the business makes belongs to proprietor. As soon as teller that the bank thinks, oh, I have so much money, I am the proprietor, let me think that home let me take it home with me. These troubles begins if we think that we can use whatever wealth we have amassed for our own sense gratification. We are acting out of karma lust. But if we come to understand that everything we have belongs to Krishna, we are liberated. We may have the same money in our hands, but as soon as we think that we are proprietor, we are under the influence of Maya. One who is situated in consciousness that everything belongs to Krishna is an actual landman.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your kindly reading. Anything anyone add? Anything anyone have any questions?
No, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji, you don't have to skip at all. If you want to tell me, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay, fine. So, Rajvans Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, Rajvans Gupta, I think.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, you wanna read?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Prabhuji, kindly show her where to read. Okay, Mataji, from the sloka you can read, Mataji. Okay, Iswaram idam sarvam.
Okay, Mataji. ईश्वरस्यम् इदं सर्वं यत् किञ्च जगत्यं जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भूतजूत मा गृहत कस्यचिद् दामनम्.
Mataji, I
Everything
want to
animate
add
all
something from that. That was, I think, Prabhuji, kindly show that Sanskrit. Yes. So, Isya Vaishyam
every
idam sarvem yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tektena bhunjitah Mam Grihakrisha Siddhanam. Okay, Mataji, Siddhanam.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji,
Svedhanam.
please kindly read and forgive me. I was interpret. Actually, I'm on some. You have just mistake there, so I just correct you, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. ईश्वरस्यम् इदं सर्वं यत् किञ्च जगत्यं जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जता मा गदः कस्य स्वतिदमनम्. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as this quarter, and one must not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. The consciousness of Ishwarasya, everything belongs to Krishna, must be revived not only individually but nationally and universally. Then there will be peace. We often tend to be philanthro-
Philanthropic, Mataji.
philanthropic and altruistic, and we strive to be friends with our countrymen, with our families, and with all the peoples of the world. But this is based on a wrong conception. The real friend of Krishna, and if we want to benefit our families, nation, or planet, we will work for him. If we have our family's welfare in mind, we will try to make all members Krishna conscious. There are so many men trying to benefit their families, but un- uh, unfortunately, they do not succeed. They do not know what real problem is. As the Bhagavatam says, one should not attempt to become a father, mother, or teacher unless he is able to save his children from death, from the grip of material nature. The father should be in knowledge of Krishna, and he should be determined that the innocent children who are entrusted to him will not have to undergo the cycle of birth and death again. He should be resolved to train his children in such a way that they will no longer have to be subjected to the painful cycle of birth and death. But before one can do this, he has to make himself expert. If he becomes expert to Krishna consciousness, he can help not only his children but his society and nation. But if he himself is bound by ignorance, how can he anti others who
Unite,
are
Mataji.
similarly bound?
Unite. Unite मतलब एकत्र
Unite.
करना. जी.
Unite others who are similarly bound. Before one can make other free, he must be free himself. Actually, no one is a free man, for everyone is under the spell of material nature. But one who is surrendered to Krishna cannot be touched by Maya. He of all men is free. If one places himself in sunlight, there is no questions of darkness. But if one places himself in artificial light, it may flicker and go out. Krishna is just like sunlight. Where he present, there is no questions of darkness and ignorance. The wise men, the Mahatmas, understand this.
Okay, Mataji.
Aham. Okay,
Mataji,
Mataji.
you wanna read? Hare Krishna. Mataji, you wanna read? If you read, then just cover this sloka, Mataji. It's okay. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Okay, so I think we should stop here. It's already 6 p.m. Fine. So thank you so much for here. Anything, any doubt on this particular topic? What we read or anything? Hare Krishna, is my voice not audible?
Audible, Mataji. Your voice is audible.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji, you can stop, you know, presenting. Yeah, very good. Anyone, any have doubt can ask me, please. Ananya Mataji, do you not have any doubts? Yasaswini Mataji?
No, Mataji.
Okay. Prabhuji, you wanna add something?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay, fine.
Mataji, in our Vedic times,
Hmm.
the qualification for marriage was the knowledge of Krishna, the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. But nowadays we see that they have made the age factor, the qualification for marriage. So this is quite a bit of materialistic, a materialistic factor that they are putting a materialistic factor for marriage. Like age is a materialistic factor after all. So and also our government is nowadays progressing towards some kind of demonic nature. They are trying to develop demonic nature in their citizens. They have made certain things legal, like they have made
Yes.
abortion legal, they have made intoxication legal, even they have made prostitution legal. So once Srila Prabhupada, he was asked, like, Prabhupada, is it possible to have government like Ram Rajya nowadays? So Prabhupada said, no, it's not possible, because nowhere in the world prostitution is illegal, intoxication is illegal, and all the other things in which Kali Yuga resides is illegal. Everywhere it's legal. And people are talking about the ideal kingdom, the Ram Rajya, they're talking about the United Nations and all these stuffs.
True, Prabhuji. I listened from one Srila Prabhupada lecture that Prabhupada, if the person, if the mother and father will not teach the children, then what should about Krishna consciousness, then what? Then the Prabhupada replied, then you should not marry. Then you said, if you don't let your child into Krishna consciousness, आजकल के जो बच्चे हैं, आजकल के जो पेरेंट्स है, they did not want their child goes to Krishna consciousness. They think that हाँ ये बाबा जी हो जाएगा, कुछ और हो जाएगा. बट जो कोई भी जो कृष्णा का सच नहीं बताते हैं, जो हमारा बर्थ एंड डेथ का सच नहीं बताते हैं, उन्हें शादी भी नहीं करनी चाहिए थी. ये कहा प्रभा जी ने. So,
Yes, Mataji.
Krishna consciousness is very important in our life, and we are fortunate that we are here. So, don't miss the
Yeah.
chance. And let's
Yes,
be.
Mataji.
Hmm, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, even if the government changes the law and if they make the law, unless and until one has the full knowledge about Krishna, he cannot marry, then it will be very beneficial for everyone. Everyone will study about Krishna to get married.
Yes, Prabhuji. And look at the films that they made of name of
Oh,
prosecutor. Oh my God. Please legal the prosecutor and all and all and all. Where is
yeah.
Ramarajya? In the is there in Ramarajya there is prosecutor is illegally? Is there gambling is legal? Is the 18 plus a child can do everything they want? Yeah, so if we change for ourselves, that we see Krishna consciousness person in our life, we see that how people, how devotees are, grow in their life. We must not envy, but we get the inspiration and go grow in our spiritual life. Then must the society or the हमारे आसपास के जो भी है, कोई तो कोई चेंज होगा जो हमें देख के ट्राई करेगा कि कभी ना कभी तो कृष्णा कॉन्सिस्टेंस में आए. तो पूरे हम दुनिया को नहीं बदल सकते, पर खुद को बदलने की कोशिश तो जरूर कर ही सकते हैं.
Yes, Mataji.
हरि
Sure.
बोल. Okay. Okay,
Haripul,
then
Mataji.
done. So we should stop our class here. Thank you so much for present here. I will always be glad that you are always all are so kind and so merciful that give your association. Thank you so much, each and every devotee who are present here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Please assume my most humble obeisance. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.